Welcome in, everyone, to Football Friday, presented by Football Addicts Anonymous. Got my law school brother here, Riley Wilkins, on for the first time. Great to have you, man.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Yes, sir. Mark might be along. He said he was trying to get off work, but we'll see. We'll see if he's on here. But boatload of games to go through here. We had Maction this week. We're not going to go over those games that were on Tuesday and Wednesday, but we are going to go over the game last night for college football. Starting off here, Louisiana got the win at home, 21-17 over Georgia State. I was just shocked. It was 14-0, or no, it was 10-0. 10-0 in the late third quarter. And I was like, what is Louisiana doing? I mean, they're 7-1 team, now 8-1 because they won. But I went on and I was like, all right, we're going Louisiana plus 100 money line, $15 to win $15. I'm in. And it was easy money. I mean,
Yeah.
But yeah, Louisiana did come back very nicely, scored 21. They scored 14 unanswered, and then Georgia State took a 17-14 lead before Louisiana got down and won the game, then held on defense at the end. Levi Lewis, it wasn't very good for either quarterback. The running game for both teams was really the caveat in this one. Tucker Gregg and Jamiest Williams for the Panthers, and Montrell Johnson scoring twice for the Raging Cajuns. Peter LeBlanc with a 100-yard game for Louisiana. And defensively, I'm going to go with the guy that had 2 sacks, Andre Riley, 3 tackles, 2 solos, 2 sacks, 2 tackles lost, and a QB hit hurry. Georgia State did cover plus 13.5, under 54 easily. Monday Night Football, Chiefs 20-17 in a close one over the Giants at home for the Chiefs. I mean, Patrick Mahomes, man, I don't know what his issue is right now.
Yeah, you thought like this kind of game is something, he could try to get back on track with, but I mean, right after the first quarter, you could tell he was still struggling with that. I mean, you can kind of argue both sides whether that first interception was his fault or not. It went off the guy's head. So, I mean, clearly his struggles are still going on, and it's definitely a concern right now for the Chiefs. I'm a Chiefs fan. You got to be a little bit concerned about what's going on with your team right now.
Yeah, and I think on the other side, I mean, it was a good showing by the Giants. I thought this game was going to be close like this. That's why I had a little action on it. Giants plus, I think it was 10.5, and the under 53. So hit that. But again, neither team. This is kind of the opposite of the college game. Neither team was very good on the ground. Derek Gore surprised in getting 11 carries. But yeah, I mean, Tyreek, the ridiculous 18 targets out of Mahomes' 48 attempts.
Right.
And it's weird to think about it, but I think they actually really need Edwards-Helaire to come back, get off IR. I don't know if that will fix it, but I don't.
It seems from this game, at least their defense was a little bit more on track. It was against the Giants, so you can take that with a grain of salt. But bright spot is, their defense looking a little better. But like you said, it'd be interesting to see what happens when CEH comes back and see if he can help out the team a little more.
Interesting. John Ross was the leading receiver for the Giants, and it was tight end touchdown parade for them as well. Ingram and Rudolph scoring there too. I was also happy this game. I hit on Tyreek Hill first touchdown, which was nice. Defensively, I'm going to go normally I would go with Chris Jones, but I'm going to go actually with Nick Bolton, 11 tackles, 4 solos, and a QB hit, just for the fact that I believe this is the first time we've had a Chiefs game where Bolton's been on our board. I guess he's finally stepping up as a second-round pick this year.
Yeah.
Giants cover plus 10.5, under 53 hit. Last night, Colts. I would have said blowing out the Jets 45-30, but it didn't look like a blowout near the end when the Jets almost pulled the backdoor cover on us.
Yeah, I mean, you thought when Mike White went down, what was it, the second quarter, you're like, okay, well, this game's going to go quickly out of hand. But then Josh Johnson comes in and has himself a game too. It seems like Zach Wilson is, might be a little bit of the problem right now, considering both QBs have come in after him and thrown over 300 yards already.
Yeah. I mean, only thing with Johnson's was it was all in garbage time after they were down 42-10 and went on a 21-3 or 20-3 run because they went for 2 that first one. Yeah, Jonathan Taylor, I mean, monster. A beast. That's why I was talking to our other friend here, Josiah, that I bet last week when Henry went down, player props for the season player props for Taylor to lead in rushing, yards, and touchdowns. So happy that he's on track to do that.
Yeah.
As long as Connor doesn't keep scoring touchdowns. But disappointed from Michael Carter. I think his usage went down when Mike White went down because White liked to throw to running backs and Josh Johnson didn't. So
right. And then when you're down 42-10, you're not going to see run the ball a lot. But what I like to see Elijah Moore get in there. I was high on him coming in the draft, so it was good to see him get some work in there. And then again, Michael Pittman kind of continuing his reign right now. A little less receiving yards in the last couple games, but still got that TD in there and then had over 50 yards.
Yeah, I had a same game parlay in this one, and I was 3 Carter catches off and 1 catch for 7 yards for Pittman off.
Ooh. Bad beat.
Yeah. Not as bad as my NBA one last night. I'm going to go with Taylor Stallworth, the guy on the bottom there for defense. I mean, I didn't even know who he was. He's actually in his 3rd year out of South Carolina. 2 tackles, both of them solo, 2 sacks, 2 tackles lost, pass selection, and 3 quarterback hits. And I guess before we leave this game, also got a shout out guard Danny Pinter for catching his 2-yard touchdown from Carson Wentz.
That's right. Big man scores.
Colts held on -10. They covered and over 46 easily. All right, NCAA news here. There's actually quite a bit for once. So Georgia Southern has a new head coach, and it's former USC head coach Clay Helton trying to rebuild his career. And I don't know. We'll have to see how that works out with new teams coming into the Sun Belt next year, or not next year, whenever everyone realigns, 2023 or whatever it is. So if he's there by that time, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, always to see if more coaches kind of take this route now, because we've seen the success with Lane Kiffin now when he was at FAU, and now him doing pretty well at Ole Miss with Matt Corral, at the helm. So we'll see if it works out for Helton, but yeah, coming in the future, it'll be interesting to see if you see these kind of big time coaches who maybe haven't had a lot of success in their Power 5 programs go down to a Group of 5 team, or whether it's Conference USA or something like that, and have success there and then come back up.
Well, speaking of Conference USA, they are also. I was when we had all these moving parts. Teams were leaving Conference USA, and now they've finally joined in and invited some people. So they sent invitations to Liberty, Jacksonville State, New Mexico State, and Sam Houston State. That was one thing I did not see in all of this realignment was the amount of teams. Now there's only been I think 4 total teams that are coming up from the FCS to the FBS. I did not see that coming because it just feels like there's not that many times where that occurs. Even though Jacksonville State, Sam Houston State, more than qualified.
Yeah.
Come up to the next level.
Yeah. So, you got to think it's all started with Oklahoma and Texas joining the SEC. It's just, this huge domino effect of all these teams realigning with different conferences. So 5 years from now, we might have a whole different landscape of what all these conferences look like. It'll be really interesting to see how all this plays out.
Yeah, hopefully, by the time we graduate here, we'll see it all set in stone. There is a $2 million entry fee into Conference USA. I know I was talking with our boy John Babington, and he was like, yeah, New Mexico State's good. They'll just, I think he said they play Bama next week or something like that. Yeah, they got to go play Alabama next week. He's like, yeah, we'll get our $2 million from Alabama next week and send it to Conference USA. So.
Yeah.
And then last thing, gonna end on NCAA news on a bad note here, but my Bulldogs in a little bit of a pickle. They suspended linebacker Adam Anderson. He's currently being investigated on a rape allegation. Doesn't look good. I read the little article that was on ESPN, but I don't know.
Yeah, it's tough to see this stuff kind of come out, and obviously you gotta wait to hear both sides. But like you said, it's not looking good for him right now from what we've seen so far, and obviously the right move for Georgia to suspend him until you get to the bottom of it.
Luckily, we have plenty of linebackers at Georgia. It's fine.
5-star recruiting class or anything, so I think you'll be all right.
All right. So we had the trade deadline on Tuesday. There were 4 trades that occurred. Nothing major, all for late round picks or player swaps. So that's why I didn't make any slides. Sometimes I'll have some trade slides on here just to visualize it. But first one, Chiefs. They sent a 2022 6th round pick to the Steelers for pass rusher Melvin Ingram. Thought that was good for both sides. Mm-hmm. Gets more playing time with the Chiefs, apparently. I don't know.
Yeah.
The Niners, they sent a 2023 6th to the Texans for defensive end Charles Omenihu. That one was intriguing just because Omenihu was a 2019 5th round pick, I believe. I don't know. Regardless, I thought he was pretty decent coming out of Texas, but hasn't really hit his stride yet, I guess. And they now have a budding superstar in Jonathan Greenard. So the Jets, interesting. I was surprised they didn't get as much in this trade, or the Chiefs didn't get as much, but the Jets traded tight end Dan Brown to the Chiefs for guard Laurent Duvernay-Tardif. So, yeah, like I said, I was very shocked that the Chiefs just player for player, and not even I'm sure not many people have heard of Dan or Daniel Brown.
Yeah, I definitely
so, yeah, it was kind of shocking that they didn't get a pick and they got a off the roster tight end essentially.
Yeah, not quite sure what they're gonna do with that. I mean, they Chiefs signed another tight end today, so I guess they're stacking up for some reason when they have arguably one of the best tight ends in the league. So
It might have just been a salary dump. That's probably what it was, but it's weird to look at the trade like that. And then the Eagles, they sent a 22-6 to the Broncos for rookie defensive back Kerry Vincent Jr. Sixth round pick, I believe, out of LSU this year for the Broncos. Thought he was decent. Has some work to do development wise, but I thought it was a good flyer for the Eagles, anyways. All right. Other news here. So the Falcons just I don't know, 15, 20 minutes ago announced they placed wide receiver Calvin Ridley on the non-football injury list. He's going to be out a minimum of 3 weeks. Announced he was stepping away from football for the time being. So I don't even know if he's going to play the rest of the year.
It's not really seeming like it. But yeah, I mean, you gotta hope everything's all right with him. No one knows what he's doing with him. Sure, there's a whole bunch of mental issues that come from being in the spotlight all the time and like that. But yeah, like you said, we just have no idea if he's going to play the rest of the year, like maybe minimum of 3 games. So we'll see how the rest of this plays out. But
yeah, and I know
pick up a receiver.
Yeah, and I know Eagles right tackle Lane Johnson. He had his own. He has had some mental issues in the past, and I know even like this season he missed 2 games, I believe it was, and then has now came back starting this past weekend. But IR moves here. The Bucks, they activated wide receiver Scotty Miller and corner Sean Murphy Bunting from IR. Panthers, they designated running back Christian McCaffrey to return. Unsure if he's going to be activated or not. I know he wasn't on the final injury report, but that's because he wasn't activated yet, so he's not technically on the roster. The Bears, they activated running back David Montgomery's practice window, so he can come back. Chargers, they designated linebacker Kenneth Murray to return from IR. And then the Niners, they're going to activate tight end George Kittle before the game on Sunday against the Cardinals. So, guys placed on IR, Broncos corner Bryce Callahan. He could be done for the year. He has a knee injury and might require surgery. And the Dolphins just today placed wide receiver Devontae Parker on IR. He had a setback with his hamstring injury, so I'm disappointed for my law school league fantasy team, but it's fine. Now I can't trade Renfro though. So yeah. COVID list here. So the Packers, I know everyone was happy and sad at the same time in Wisconsin.
Right.
Because they activated wide receiver Devontae Adams off of the COVID list, but they placed quarterback Aaron Rodgers on the COVID list.
Yeah, it's been I watched his interview with Pat McAfee today, and I'm a Packers fan, and he's a weird dude, that's for sure, and he's got his reasons for not having it, and I think that'll hopefully take the heat off of him a little bit. But like you said, a little roller coaster of emotions this week for Packers fans. They finally get Adams back, and then Rodgers goes on the COVID, and once again we don't get to see the State Farm Bowl between Rodgers.
Yeah, homeopathic therapy or treatment.
Homeopathic. He talked to Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan gave him advice. I'm like, hey, you do you, man. Just get back on the football field.
It was funny when we said in our league group chat, it's Shay's fault.
Yeah, it is. She's like like harvests her own vegetables outside. She likes to go makes her own bars of soap. I'm like, I don't know, Rogers, what are you doing with this woman right here? I don't know. Like she's just throwing stuff in your head right now, and it's very confusing.
Gotta go back to Danica.
Yeah.
Get back. The Broncos, they placed tight end Noah Fant on the list. And Cardinals did the same with wide receiver AJ Green. Vikings also placing center Garrett Bradbury on the COVID list. So all out this weekend. Some quarterback news here. Texans, quarterback Tyrod Taylor, he's going to be back as a starter this week. Davis Mills to the bench. Not that I think that will help, but
Nope.
It is what it is. And the Saints, Sean Payton announced it will be Trevor Siemian behind center once again instead of Taysom Hill. Taysom is going to be back, though, playing his normal role. Also at the Saints, though, retired quarterback Phillip Rivers living up life down in, Mississippi or?
Yeah, I think so.
I think it's Mississippi, yeah. Yeah, he said he'd be willing to listen to what the Saints have to say if they gave him a shout.
Yeah, I mean, he's got 10 kids at home. I'm sure he's going to listen and do what he can to get away from 10 kids. I'm sure he's maybe regret a little bit retiring.
Well, I mean, he's the head coach at that whatever high school it is down there.
That's right.
So I don't know. Maybe he's in the playoffs right now. I don't know. That's why I got my Northern football hat on. My alma mater's in the playoffs tonight, hosting a playoff game. So we'll see how that goes. And I also got the team I coached for one season, Carlisle High School. They are in the playoffs tomorrow. So, we're sticking with the Saints. Wide receiver Michael Thomas, he's done for the year. He has a new ankle injury that isn't the same as his one that he had been on the PUP list for.
Right.
So, yeah, we're not going to see Michael Thomas this year.
Yeah, not very surprised by that one.
And it was weird that the Saints couldn't get anything done with anyone for a wide receiver because they probably knew. But
yeah, I'll be interested to see what I'm sure we'll talk about here in a little bit with the whole OBJ thing, and I'm sure the Saints will try to target him.
Washington football team defensive end Montez Sweat, he's going to be out at least a month. Fractured his jaw last week. So, yeah, he can't get contacted at all. That's great. The Jets, 2 major injuries from last night. Tight end Tyler Kroft, he has a lung laceration, going to be out multiple weeks. I don't know how these kind of things happen.
I saw that this morning. I was like, I don't know how you lacerate your lung while you're playing football
without like breaking a rib.
Yeah. It makes sense if you broke a rib and it punctured it, but just without breaking a rib, yeah, that's very interesting.
And then even worse for them, safety Marcus May, he has a torn Achilles, done for the season. So. Waivers wise, the Niners, they waived kicker Joey Sly. Robbie Gould going to be back off IR this weekend. Rams waived wide receiver Deshaun Jackson. Didn't work out as a free agent signing this offseason. Also, not working out. Eagles waived linebacker Eric Wilson. I don't want to say shocked by that, but it was just like I was very high on Eric Wilson getting signed by the Eagles. 1 year, $2.75 million. Thought it was a great signing. Didn't do much, and Now he's on the Texans because they claimed it. So they inherit his salary.
Yep.
Lions just today, they waived wide receiver Tyrell Williams off of IR with an injury settlement. Another free agent signing gone wrong there. And all right, releases here. So Henry Ruggs released by the Raiders, being charged with DUI resulting in death in Nevada, right? Nevada.
Nevada.
And 156 miles an hour at the time of crash.
Yeah, it's a very, very sad situation. And I mean, I think Derek Carr had a great view of it if you watch his press conference with it. And he's kind of, showing love for just Henry Ruggs, just making sure he's there for him. But at the same time, you gotta pray for that family who that girl was unfortunately killed. And now it's up to the judicial courts to see what kind of sentence he gets.
Yes. He is facing 2 to 20 years in state correctional facility. If that is the charge that he gets convicted of. I forget what the other charge was. But the other charge only carried a 6 months to 5 years, I believe it was. I could be wrong.
Okay, I don't remember.
But yeah, the other charge he has is much less.
I'm serious.
Also want to point out, sad we lost a dog in that too. So
very sad situation.
Also released by the Raiders. I was kind of surprised by this one. They released quarterback Nathan Peterman. Actually, I shouldn't be surprised. That was John Gruden's guy.
But they did pick him up in one day, and they're like, "Yeah, no, never mind."
That was John Gruden's guy, man.
It was. He loved him to death, even though he threw 5 interceptions and a half. He loved him.
So yeah, now with Rich out there, he is not on the team anymore. Packers, another free agent signing failed.
Yep.
In-season free agent signing. They released linebacker Jalen Smith.
Yeah. I was looking forward to seeing what he can contribute to the team, and just didn't really get any playing time. I guess LaFleur and didn't like what he saw at all, and just cut ties with him.
Yeah, it's been quite a fall from grace after some Pro Bowl years in Dallas, and I haven't heard of him signing anywhere yet. So, all right, OBJ. So released. The Browns announced he was released today. Wasn't actually transacted on the NFL's transaction wire. But there is a rule that Field Yates just put out on Twitter that you can't restructure a player's contract and waive him on the same day. So if they did get the deal done today, then he could be waived tomorrow. And then 4 p.m. on Monday is the waiver.
Right.
Waivers process. So, or that's the waiver deadline to put in claims. So, what to see? I know I saw probably every single team Photoshop on Twitter.
Welcome to Allstate. We've just lowered our auto rates.
Yeah, we're getting an Allstate ad.
Yeah. Oh, my bad. There we go. But yeah, no, you like you're saying, it's going to be interesting to see where he goes. I mean, I'm sure you can go on any NFL account. You'll see every team there has their jersey photoshopped on him. But I mean, a couple teams that come to mind, Saints, obviously, could use a receiver. Selfishly, the Packers. I love having on the Packers. Rodgers throwing some dimes to him. Some other ones. I mean, what do you think would be the best fit for him?
Well, the current top 10 waiver wire order is Lions, Dolphins, Texans, Jags, Jets, Giants, Washington, Eagles, Seahawks, and Bears. But I was talking with someone today. I think that teams are going to call him before they put in waiver claim and say, well, are you going to play for us or not?
Right.
Because I think that's going to determine it. And even if that doesn't happen, I could see a scenario where no one claims him and he just is a free agent and then he can decide where he wants to go.
Right. I feel like that's the most likely situation that's going to happen because I'm sure if the 0-8, 0-7 Lions call him and ask, hey, you going to play for us? I think that's going to be a long conversation.
Yeah, I don't think he'd play for many of those teams that are down there. The top three that I saw most of the Photoshops were the Raiders, the Giants, and the Eagles.
Giants.
Yeah, I said there's no
home.
I said there's no chance. Not how that ended.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the Saints will be good option. The issue is now there's no Jameis, so are they actually going to be competitive? So, yeah, the Raiders definitely could be an option and Packers as well, but I'll take him on. I don't know if I'd take him on the Eagles or not. I've never been a big Odell fan. Too many antics for my taste.
He's got a bit of an ego you got to deal with on the team.
Yeah. And his time in Cleveland ends with 29 games, 114 receptions, 1,586 yards, 7 touchdowns, 2 100-yard receiving games. In I don't know how many seasons he was there. 3.
Yeah.
I believe it's 3.
Clearly not up to his standards.
Not even close to the pace he had in New York. And then a couple things left on the end here. Bengals, they claimed corner Vernon Hargraves off waivers from the Texans. And the Packers, with Rodgers out, Jordan Love starting, they signed quarterback Blake Bortles to the practice squad, going to be elevated as the backup this weekend. Because quarterback Kurt Benkert also on the COVID list for the Packers. So depleted quarterback room. All right. College pick standings here. So, yeah, Chris got us once again last week, and he is now 1 game out from Mark. I got Mark by 1 game, so I'm still 5 back. But there's a bunch of lone wolves last weekend. Mark, he lost out on Michigan, losing to Michigan State, and UTEP losing to FAU. Chris, he got us on Baylor beating Texas, NC State beating Louisville, and then he lost San Diego State, picking San Diego State, and they lost to Fresno State. I was very happy. I got a 16-point underdog, correct. Washington State beating Arizona State. I lost my Penn State pick when they lost to Ohio State. And then I lost Virginia when they lost to BYU. All right, we got a lot of college games. I know. I picked way too many games this week. But that's because there were like 2 ranked matchups, and that was it. Usually there's a lot more ranked versus ranked, so it cuts it down. But anyways, starting off, we got 2 tonight. Virginia Tech at Boston College. Chris is lone wolf in the Eagles. And I don't know why. I guess because they're at home and it's a night game in Boston, but I like Braxton Burmeister for Tech here, so that's why I'm going with them, really.
I'm going to join the majority here and take Virginia Tech, even though the record against the spread the past couple games has not been in their favor, but I think to be able to pull it off against BC tonight. BC is a pretty good team. They got a great running back, but I think Virginia Tech will be a little bit too much for them.
Small spread. So it should be a close game. Boston College totally changed for me whenever Dracovic went down. And he was my favorite player on BC, and now I don't really follow him too much. Over-under is 48. And I'm probably going just under that. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I don't like the over-under on this one that much, but if I had, I should probably go under on that one.
7:30 on ESPN2. Yeah, it's annoying, Riley. I gotta say the Eastern time that it starts for everyone out there.
Yeah. 7:30.
Utah at Stanford. We're all on the Utes. Stanford's been scrappy in a couple games, especially when they beat Oregon, but I think Utah's on a pretty decent run right now. So
yep.
going with that.
Join the majority. I'll put it on the Utes, but like you said, Stanford, they had that good win over Oregon. I mean, that's not really doesn't like paint a good picture of the whole season. So a couple scrappy wins here and there, like you said, but Utes are on a good roll. We'll cover.
Yeah, they've been interesting with Charlie Brewer not being the quarterback anymore. It's rising star Cameron Rising. Over under 53. Again, I'll probably go under again. 10:30 on FS1. All right, starting early tomorrow morning. Army at Air Force. We're all on the Falcons. Reason being, I had to look into this because normally I would more than likely pick Army, but first of all, it's at the Air Force Academy. And second of all, I looked it up just to make sure. And both quarterbacks are expected to play. Christian Anderson for Army, Hazik Daniels for Air Force. And that was why I picked the Air Force, because I love Hazik Daniels, and I think he runs the Air Force offense very well. Both triple option, but
yeah, it is fun. It's always fun watching these two teams come together, who are obviously a run first offense, and what the over under is 38 for this game.
Yeah.
So I think I like the over on that. I don't know why. I probably should do the under when it's at 38, but once again, I'll join the majority, take Air Force in this one.
I mean, I can see where the over had hit because, Army scored 56 against Wake Forest a couple weeks ago. Air Force, like I said, with Hazik Daniels, they can actually throw the ball. They're definitely not a traditional triple option team when he is at quarterback. Like you said, over under 38 and 11:30 a.m. on CBS. Mizzou at number 1 Georgia. Go damn dogs. I've been saying it all year. And it was weird. I looked at my October Snapchat recap, and I had probably about 6 or 8 Snapchats of just pictures with the words "Go damn dogs" on it in all caps. But yeah, I was shocked. This is an SEC game, and the dogs are favored by, it's now 39.5.
Yeah. I mean, I looked at this. I'm like, come on, you gotta choose Mizzou. It's a SEC game. I mean, they're gonna hopefully play up to SEC standards, but you go back and look at Georgia's games this year; they've been blown out every opponent. Missouri, I'm pretty sure, hasn't won the spread at all this year. They're 0-8 against the spread. So,
Well, yeah, the biggest issue is they don't have their quarterback. Connor Bazelak is out for this game for Missouri. Um, I
so
think Stetson for Georgia again.
yep. All
Not like
boys also go damn dogs.
it's not what I like to see, but I know me and a lot of other Georgia fans I know we're clamoring for JT Daniels. I mean, we need him to start playing.
Well, with Stetson Bennett the way he's playing right now, I mean, it's hard to throw JT Daniels in there.
But he really didn't play that well against Florida, though.
Yeah.
If the defense doesn't get those turnovers and score that one, it's definitely a closer game than it was.
Well, y'all won by 30.
Yeah,
Yeah.
from the running game, and I mean he had one downfield pass, but we're not going to beat Alabama if it's Stetson Bennett. So, over under is 60, and I'm going under. The only thing that I was cautionary with the under in this one was that this would turn into a Vanderbilt situation where Georgia scores 63 in the first half. And it's at home. But Georgia fans don't like to show up for noon games. So 12 p.m. on ESPN. Number 5, Ohio State at Nebraska. Buckeyes getting 14.5. And I'm not going to say what I said 2 weeks ago, because 2 weeks ago, I said the slate was pretty bland. And when I said that, all the underdogs took offense, and we had a bunch of upsets, and we had a bunch of scares for a lot of other teams in the top 10 and top 25. So I'm not going to say that this week. But it is.
Hey, you can say it if you want, because I think I'm taking Nebraska. So if you want to help me out at all, then please say it.
Nebraska straight up.
Oh, not straight up. Golly, no, straight up. But Scott Frost is kind of fine for his job right now. He's trying to get in the bowl season. They have to win out actually to get the bowl season. So don't think they're going to win this game. They won't get to the bowl game, but I think he's, like I said, fight for his job. So his team might play a little harder against, opponent like this. So Ohio State wins, but I think it's going to be 10, 11-point game.
I mean, Nebraska is at home, but I'd have to check my weekly college Hail Mary parlay that I send every week.
The one where one always loses, but the others.
Yeah. No, this one was not in. I thought I was going to put that one in, but I did not. Ohio State minus 14.5. I was thinking about it, but I didn't. Yeah, over under is 66. It's a lot of points, but I think it goes over. 12 p.m. on Fox, big noon kickoff. This one I do have in the Hail Mary parlay. Number 9, Wake Forest on the road at North Carolina and Chapel Hill. And I am on the Demon Deacons money line.
I don't get. Maybe you can explain why is North Carolina even favored in this game?
Sam Howell. Because my friend sent me a ESPN article saying Sam Howell's numbers from last year compared to this year, he's actually better this year.
Yeah,
the defense got worse, and he doesn't have as much help around him, especially on the running game. As we know, Javonte Williams, Michael Carter in the league now. But I believe in the Wake Forest offense. I mean, this one's going to be a hell of a high-scoring game. But Sam Hartman is in massive
lights out this year.
So him, Jakari Robertson, A.T. Perry, Christian Beal-Smith. I'm going with the better offense.
I'm with you there.
And like I said, a lot of offense here. Over-under is 77.
On offense, but is it that much offense? That's the question.
I'm saying over. Yeah. Why not?
I mean, yeah, what was the Army score last week's? The other week, 70-56, whatever it was.
Yeah, against Wake.
Yeah, so it's definitely possible. They're going to keep. It's going to be a 56-48 game, something like that. So I'll take the over.
Yeah, 12 p.m. ABC. Liberty at number 16, Ole Miss. This is a Heisman hopeful showdown here. Malik Willis, Matt Corral, and no one was on the Malik Willis train. Even though I do expect Malik Willis to get drafted out higher than Matt Corral, but I'm going with the better team.
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, Ole Miss with Matt Corral. I mean, I saw firsthand because, me going to Arkansas, I saw how he performed against us a couple of weeks ago. And ever since that, it's been hard to bet against Ole Miss with Matt Corral there. And so Liberty's a great team. They got a great quarterback. But at home, at the Grove, it's gonna be a tough matchup for them.
Yeah, Liberty just isn't the same team this year they had last year, going on their great run. And 7-2 is pretty good still, but not good enough this year to be SEC team. Over-under is 67. Another one expected to have a lot of points. I don't think it's always tough with Ole Miss and their fast-paced offense, but I don't necessarily think it gets there because Ole Miss's defense. That's why.
Yeah.
12 p.m. on SEC Network. Illinois at number 20, Minnesota. Gophers been on a roll as of late. And we all got the M's up.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and throw the eye up there then because after seeing how they performed last week against 2 weeks ago against your Penn State boys, I think Illinois is a pretty good defense. Like you said, Minnesota's been on a good roll right now, but don't know how much I believe in them still. 14.5 points is a lot in the Big Ten. So I'm going to go with Illinois here.
Wow. First lone wolf for Riley here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm loving what PJ Fleck's doing. They're gonna go win the West. Minnesota is. That's my bold prediction. 4 weeks. 4 weeks to go here in college football season. So, or 3 weeks. 3 weeks to go. Over-unders 44. Lower scoring game. Both teams are going to run the ball.
Yep, that's going to hit the under.
12 p.m. ESPN 2. Number 25, Pitt at Duke. Wonderful match. Kenny Pickett's going to have another day, and Pitt's going to rail Duke.
Oh, 100%. This is a generous spread.
Yeah, I was sad for Kenny Pickett last week. Threw for a boatload of yards, couldn't get the win against Miami, who I hate so much for multiple reasons. But yeah, bounce back day for Pitt. Over under 65. I have a big issue with that number. What is Duke's offense going to do about that?
Nothing.
Exactly.
They're just begging on the fact that Pittsburgh's going to drop 56 on them and then Duke's gonna get a late garbage points there to hit the over.
And like I always say with Pitt, their offense has been great this year, but with Pat Narduzzi as head coach, he's a defensive guy. So 12 p.m. ACC Network. SMU at Memphis. I was a little bit surprised that it was only 4.5 because it is SMU against a very young Memphis team, freshman at quarterback. But I have SMU money line because I was scared of the points. So Mustang.
I'm pony up. Yeah, they're coming off a tough loss last week against Houston.
That was brutal.
Hate to see it because I'm being from Dallas. I always like seeing SMU doing good, but I think they have a good bounce back game this week. You got the spread at -4.5, so I think they cover that pretty easily this week.
Yeah, Memphis is an offense that I like though. With Seth Hennigan and Brandon Thomas at running back. Dynamic Calvin Austin at wide receiver. That's why, speaking of that offense, that's why the over-under is at 71.
Another big one here.
I'm going under, again, for defensive reasons, SMU's defense.
Yeah, that is just an insane amount of points you can score in there for a defense like SMU. And so, yeah, I'll take the under on that.
12 p.m. ESPNU. App State at Arkansas State. I don't, you know what? Even though Arkansas State's 1-7, I don't know if they necessarily don't cover 21.
Yeah, I don't know much about Arkansas State. Judging by their 1-7 record, I'm gonna go ahead and assume they're not a competitive football team. So I'm gonna take the safe pick here, take the favorite, take Appalachian State -21.
Yeah, Chase for App State has been a lot better ever since they lost to Louisiana, and then they beat Coastal Carolina. So I didn't have that one. No, okay. Over under, another biggish one, 68. Probably banking on App State, just like the Pitt game, to score a bunch. But I don't think it gets there because App State likes to run the ball a lot. So 2 p.m. on ESPN Plus. Let's get into the main 3:30 slate here. Number 3, Michigan State at Purdue. We're all on Sparty, and it's interesting.
Oh, come on. None of y'all want to take Purdue with me?
No, because Michigan State has the Heisman Trophy winner on it.
That's a fair point. But no, I still like Purdue. I think they've got a great defense there. They're quite known for their upsets. I like Purdue outright in this game.
Well, the other thing, not just Kenneth Walker, but I like Michigan State's defense as well. We saw Aiden O'Connell for Purdue have an issue against Wisconsin's defense. I don't think Michigan State's too far off of what Wisconsin is doing defensively, even though, they let up 30 points or whatever it was to Michigan last week, but that's a top 10 team. Purdue is not a top 10 team. So I don't think they're going to be able to do what they did against Iowa or replicate it. So even though they are facing another top 5 team, that's tough to beat 2 top 5s in a season.
It is.
When you yourself are not a top 5 caliber team. But yeah, I do have Michigan money line in the Hail Mary parlay here. So Over under 54. I'm saying no.
Yep. Like the under on that.
I like it in the 40s ish. 3:30 on ABC. Tulsa at number 6, Cincinnati. We're all over the Bearcats. And I have no idea what ESPN's doing. Going to Cincinnati for this game, for game day. That's the dumbest decision ever. And you know what's even more stupid? Is that this game isn't even on ESPN.
Yeah.
It's on ESPN too.
I know. I don't know. I mean, I think I'm 100% with y'all in Cincinnati. After those CFP rankings come out, they're going to be playing mad. Not like it's going to do a lot for them, probably, even if they win by 40 points. But it was a very interesting choice to have game day there. So they're going to have a nice big target on their back going to Cincinnati after those rankings.
It's probably why. The rankings are probably why they did that. Or I think they decided that before the rankings, but
yeah.
Still, I mean, if you're gonna go to a Cincinnati game, like you should have went to Cincinnati UCF, like even though they blew them out too.
Not against a 3-5 Tulsa team.
Yeah. Over under is 55. Let's hit the over.
Mm-hmm.
And 3:30 on ESPN2, like I said. Navy at number 10, Notre Dame. This old rivalry here. And yeah, midshipmen have been terrible this year.
Yes.
They're not even close to the other military academies. So
yep, Notre Dame big.
Irish with 21 here. Now, if this was in Annapolis, I think it would be more intriguing. But being in South Bend, I don't.
But yeah.
Over under is low. It's 48. Do you think Notre Dame can get enough possessions?
Yeah, because I mean, Navy's one of those teams that just runs the ball down your throats for 60 minutes. So we'll cover the spread, but looking at the over and under, I like you said, I don't know if they're going to have enough time for them to score that many points.
Yeah. All right. Number 11, Oklahoma State at West Virginia. I was thinking about it. I was thinking about the Mountaineers at home in Morgantown, but it's not a night game. It's an afternoon game. That's why I went with the Cowboys. I've been on the Oklahoma State train for most of the season, and I'm going with Mark's cousin, Jalen Warren. Not his actual cousin, but I like to say it anyways, just because he's got the last name. But yeah, Jalen Warren, hope to have a bounce back game here, and Spencer Sanders get it done over Jarrett Diggy.
Yeah, I mean they had that big win over Texas, and then come back and lose to Iowa State, and then they blow out Kansas, but not saying much. But
Oklahoma didn't blow out Kansas.
Yeah. So I was kind of flipping back and forth in this game, but I'll go with the majority on this one. Now that you've kind of pointed out, it is an afternoon game, so that this night game might be a little different, but I like Spencer Saunders. -2.5 bucket.
Yeah, West Virginia did just they just upset. Who did they upset last week? Iowa State.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you know, I might change my mind again by the time I put my bets back in, but
yeah, over under is 49. It's Big 12, so up and up. And this is the game that is on ESPN at 3:30. It makes sense. It's a better game than
it is a better game. Maybe they should have gone there. But Nope.
Number 12, Baylor at TCU. I kind of wish Chris was on here because I'm sure he would be smiling seeing that Mark and I have finally joined him on the Baylor train. We had been against Baylor for the last 3 weeks or so, and we're finally on the Bears.
Yeah. I'm with you. I think I like them to win the Big 12. I think they'll be the ones to beat Oklahoma. And then now with TCU firing Gary Patterson, they're going to be figuring things out over there. So I like Baylor big in this game.
I don't know a Big 12. I wouldn't go that far.
I think so.
If I'm rooting for anyone in the Big 12, it's Oklahoma State. But yeah, forgot about the Gary Patterson thing. That's true. But maybe TCU pulls a Washington State. Washington State's been on fire since Rolovich got fired. And some of the other schools that fire their head coaches have not been so lucky. Over-under is 58. I think Baylor's defense has played very well, and their offense is good, but I think their defense they're going to stop TCU enough times that it doesn't get over. 3:30 on Fox. The only ranked game we have in the FBS this weekend.
Yeah, that's right.
Number 13 Auburn at number 14 Texas A&M. And Chris Lone Wolf and the Aggies, I can't. I had to go with my boy Nate down in Georgia. He's from his whole family's Auburn fans, and I'm rooting for Auburn now because I need them to win the West, so Georgia has a nice easy end to the college football playoff.
Oh, yeah, good luck with that.
So.
But no, I'm with you. I like Auburn a lot. Bo Nix has been finding his stride lately. He's been looking really good. Also, I hate A&M. Don't want to choose him. So I'll take Auburn in the points. It is at Kyle Field. I'm pretty sure A&M is actually 1-4 against Auburn at Kyle Field. So there's a nice little stat to help Auburn. So I think Bo Nix has a pretty good game, and Auburn takes it.
Yeah, that was the only thing in my mind was that at home for A&M, but like you said, you got the stats to back up the negative on that aspect. Over under is 50. I'm going over. I think one, I think Auburn scores 2/3 of that. They can get 35 on A&M.
Easily.
3:30 on SEC on CBS. All right, and here we go. Idaho State at number 15 BYU, 33.5 for the Cougs. Good Lord, this thing's going to be over quick.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, BYU by a million.
Over under is 53. How do you set an over under at 53 in this kind of game?
I don't know.
I mean, even if they shut out Idaho State, I still think BYU would hit the over.
Yeah.
Score 8 touchdowns, get to 56. Why not?
Yeah. Especially with a 33.5 spread. I mean, you gotta assume that you'll be somewhat near those. So I agree with you.
3:30 on ESPN 3. I still don't know what the difference is between ESPN 3 and ESPN Plus.
Beats me. I like ESPN 3 is actually on TV, but it's ESPN Plus not. You have to actually go to the app.
Yeah, I think so, but
yeah,
on the app, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Number 21, Wisconsin at Rutgers. And if this was a night game, I would be a little bit more inclined to look into the Scarlet Knights. But again, it's a 3:30 game in Jersey. Badger defense, man.
Yeah, I mean, I was like for most of the year, people have been kind of worried about Wisconsin's offense. They've
Graham Bird sucks.
He does. He is not good at all. Wisconsin's kind of shown some better sides of offense here. That being said, I'm gonna have to go with Greg Schiano, the Schiano man.
Welcome to Allstate,
Okay, that's gonna happen.
where we have all new lower.
I'm just gonna close that. I don't need that. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Schiano. Give me the points. Low scoring game. I have no reason to back that up. Honestly, I just like Schiano. I'm not very big on Wisconsin yet, but I'll take him.
So who you got on you got Rutgers just the points?
Yeah, Rutgers and the points.
Rutgers straight up.
Not straight up. Oof.
Okay. That's what I was wondering. All right. The over-under is another nice one. 38.
Another one of those low score ones that I almost just don't want to touch because I just have no clue.
I think I'm going to go over again. I mean, granted, they didn't go over against Iowa last week in a 27-7 win. That was 38 as well, I believe.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if it goes under, but I'm going to say over. 3:30 Big Ten Network. Penn State at Maryland. This is obligated to be on here because I'm a Penn State fan as well. So, yeah, unfortunately, we're picking Penn State against the Fighting Dave Meweyes. Dave Mewey, just to inform you, Riley, that Mark and I's favorite professor at Georgia. And he worked at Maryland quite a few years before he worked at Georgia.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll join y'all here. I'll take Penn State -10. I'll support my boy Rusty here. Hopefully get Penn State back on track.
Get him bowl eligible. And possibly next week we can get back into the rankings. Yeah, it's just been a pretty big downfall since they lost to Iowa 4 weeks ago. Over under is 56. I'm gonna go over.
I like the under on that one.
Yeah, it's been tough for Maryland. They're deceiving 5-3. Talia Tagovailoa has not played up as well as he was early in the year.
No.
3:30 on FS1. I'm happy Georgia and Penn State don't play at the same time this week. It's a great time. It's a great Saturday when they do that. Here you go, Riley. Number 17, Mississippi State at Arkansas. Your boys. Chris is with you.
There we go. Got one on my side.
I was thinking about it, but I'm going with Will Rogers. I think Mike Leach's got the Bulldogs playing well right now. And Will Rogers is slinging it like he does.
Yeah, well, surprisingly enough, I'm going to be taking Arkansas with the points and the win. Arkansas has done relatively well against the passing offense this year. Barry Odom has shown some good signs of doing that. And, I mean, you can't beat Arkansas's running back trio with Rocket Sanders and Traylon Smith and Dominic Johnson. And then you got KJ, who, is just a brute running it every once in a while. And I love Traylon. It's just last year, I mean, Arkansas took care of Mississippi State. I think we do it again. I think it's going to be Arkansas wins pretty handily. I think it's a game at Arkansas. I like playing at home. So
Yeah. Well, they already did they lose? They lose at home to Ole Miss.
no, that was on the road.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the Auburn game.
Auburn, yes. Auburn was at home.
So go Will Rogers. Go Bulldogs.
Big baby.
And then the Pirate with the win. Over under 55. I like the over. I took the over 55.5 in the Hail Mary here.
I like the over as well.
Oh, I forgot to say on the Cincinnati game, I have the over in that one, 54.5.
Yeah, I have the over as well in that one.
So 4 p.m. SEC Network. Number 19, NC State at Florida State. Another one I was thinking about the Seminoles because NC State's been just sus for me this year, but they are 6-2. They are ranked. Go Wolfpack.
No, yeah, I mean, NC State. I mean, yeah, they have been a little suspect from game to game, but I think Florida State's just terrible. I don't think they're good at all. I don't like Mike Norvell there. He hasn't been doing great for them. So I'm big on NC State. When I saw the line was at -2.5, I thought it was just, the gods handing me, here's a free $20 for you, buddy. Take it. And so I can see State here.
Yeah, I don't know why Florida State has went away from not playing Mackenzie Milton, but
yeah.
Cool. Ross Travis, go ahead. Over under is 56, even 8 touchdowns. And I don't like it.
I like the under on that.
4 p.m. ACC Network. Utah State at New Mexico State. Yep. John Babington's gonna have a nice day again for the Aggies. Aggie versus Aggie here. Still don't know what an Aggie is, but that's fine.
Some sort of agricultural person.
But yeah, Utah State Aggies. They're gonna have a good one in this one.
Yeah.
Logan Ball and Co. Over under 71. Why not? Utah State can score, but I don't think.
Not that. I don't know. I like the under on that.
And that one's at 4 p.m. No network affiliation. Marshall at FAU. Chris Lone Wolf in the herd. And no, I don't. It's at FAU for one. Mm-hmm. And for two, when you look at the schedules, FAU has played a lot tougher opponents. Their 3 losses, I believe it's Texas, Air Force, and I'm blanking on the third one. But yeah, that was my argument for the Owls.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm not going to be joining Chris here, unfortunately, but join the majority. I'll take FAU. They've got a little more impressive wins over here, and they're, like you said, their losses are all against teams who have a winning record at this point. So
UAB was the other loss. And Marshall's lost to ECU, App State, and one that I think is a terrible loss. They lost to Mid-Tennessee.
Ooh.
Those were 3 straight. They lost 3 straight there.
That is tough.
They're on a 2-game win streak right now, but yeah. Over under is 58. And I'm going over, like the points. Nikosi Perry for the Owls and Grant Wells for the herd. 6 p.m. also No network affiliated. Coastal Carolina at Georgia Southern. Go Shants. Shanta clears. 19.5 here. They'll cover. Have a good day in Statesboro, Georgia.
Yep. Coastal Cal goes Chanticleers.
Over under is 60. Actually, I do like the over. I think Southern can score some. 14 to 21 points. I think they can get on the board.
Was it a 60 you said?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that too.
6 p.m. on ESPN Plus. LSU at number 2 Bama. 7-1 Alabama. 28.5 here for Edo and Co. To face. And it's in Tuscaloosa. There's no chance for the Tigers.
No chance for the Tigers. I agree, but I'm gonna take the points here. I'm gonna take LSU. I think Alabama probably wins by 3 touchdowns, but 20.5. I don't know. It is in Tuscaloosa, so that does make me kind of wary about taking the Tigers, but I like Coach O. So I'm hoping he kind of finishes off his time here at LSU with a little bit of a bright note. But
On his farewell tour.
yeah, so go Tigers.
At least he gets to see Saban one more time.
That's true. See what he can do with it.
Over under 67. Woo. LSU's played some high scoring games this year.
Yeah.
Bama defense too good though. I feel like they're not the old school Bama defense, but they're still pretty good. 7 p.m. on ESPN. Tennessee at number 18 Kentucky. I was shocked that the Vols came out as a road favorite.
Yeah. I saw that. I thought maybe it was a home game and I just saw it wrong, but no, they're at Kentucky and they were a -1 favorite, which just baffled me. So going with Kentucky here.
Yeah, I mean, Hendon Hooker has played a lot, has made the Tennessee offense a hell of a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
But Kentucky coming off a heartbreaker. Losing to Mississippi State. Yeah, not just losing. They lost by 14 at Mississippi State last week. I think they'll get back to their roots. Chris Rodriguez run the ball. Will Levis supplement that with the play action game. And Wan'Dale Robinson. Wildcats win. Over under is 57. Going under. Wildcat defense pretty solid as well.
It is.
7 p.m. ESPN 2. Number 22, Iowa at Northwestern. I don't know why I put the Hawkeye logo up there, but I did, and we all did. This team has scored 14 points last 2 games combined.
Yeah. So, yeah, with that being said, I am taking Northwestern. This is just one of those games. It's going to end up being like 17-7. It's just going to be a very low scoring game. Whatever the under is, taking that too.
41. And I agree.
Love it. Give me.
I agree. I have under 40.5 is what I got it at. So, yeah. Even if Iowa comes back and plays like normal, they had only been scoring about 28 points per game anyways.
Yeah, they're not a high-powered offense. Their defense is doing most work for them this year. So,
7 p.m. This is weird. No affiliation on ESPN's app for this game.
really,
No TV. You got to stream that one, apparently. Just such poor offense that they don't want to put it on TV. This one's interesting. Mountain West matchup, Boise State at number 22, Fresno State. But I didn't bat an eye. I did not bat an eye. Bulldogs all the way. One of my favorite players this year, Jake Hayner, lighting it up. And they're at home in Fresno.
Yeah, I'm with you. If it was at Boise State, maybe I'd consider taking the points. But like you said, Jake Henry's been awesome this year. I like Fresno -5 at home. They've got a good squad for them going right now.
Yeah, I took the points in the Hail Mary as well. So I don't think I mentioned I took -10 for Penn State. And this was the last game of the 8-leg Hail Mary parlay here. So to recap, under 40.5 Iowa, Northwestern, Fresno State -5, over 55.5 Mississippi State, Arkansas, over 54.5 Tulsa, Cincinnati, Michigan State money line at Purdue, Wake Forest money line at North Carolina, SMU money line at Memphis, Penn State -10 at Maryland. We can prep Hail Mary. Over under is 60 in this game, and I'm liking the over. 7 p.m. CBS Sportsnet. Oregon at Washington. I know a lot of people are on the dub this weekend on the Huskies. But I think Oregon's playing too well. I mean,
yeah, I'm with you there. They got, obviously the rankings come out. They're number 4. They're gonna try to prove that they do deserve to be there, despite all the controversy around this rankings right now. So I think they go out there and handle this pretty easily.
Yeah, it is scary though that it's at Washington. Just from Oregon struggled against when they lost to Stanford at Stanford. They struggled. They squeaked one out against UCLA at the Rose Bowl. It's a night game in where's Washington at? Seattle? Do they play? Yeah, okay. I wasn't sure if they played in Seattle or not.
Right outside Seattle, pretty much.
But yeah, night game at Washington. It's gonna be scary. And Fowler and Herbstreit are on the call. This one's 7:30 on ABC. Over under is 51. I have no clue. Sorry, Kayvon Thibodeau is gonna win the game. It's fine. Big Ten, Indiana at number 7, Michigan. Wolverines at home in the big house. No problem against Tom Allen and co. It's fine.
No one's going Indiana?
Hell no.
Yeah, it's not. They're pretty trash, honestly. Yeah. I like Michigan. I think that game against Michigan State, Michigan should have won that game. They had a couple errors there in the later half, so
I'm happy they did.
Yeah. So they're they're probably a little red ass, so they're gonna go out there and get some work done and make sure they handle Indiana.
This one also is 51 over under. And I don't know. It depends how many explosive plays Michigan has. Because I could see a scenario where it does go over, but if they just are running and running and running, not throwing it like they did against Michigan State, I don't think it has a chance. 7:30 on Fox. Houston at USF. Cougars. Yeah. Should Should be fun for them, anyways. They're on a high right now, coming off that win against SMU last week. They're probably pissed off though too.
Yeah,
I would be pissed off. I'm not ranked.
Yeah.
So.
Yep, I like Houston big here.
Over under 53. I hate USF's offense so much. So I'm gonna go no. Even though Houston has high power offense. Under. 7:30 ESPNU. Mountain West. San Jose State at Nevada. Wolfpack getting 11 here. And I love it. Carson Strong is amazing. And he should have another 400-yard game in this one. So that's all he does is throw for 300, 400 yards every week. So
I'm with y'all. I like the Wolfpack in this one. I don't know if is Nick Starkel still playing there at San Jose State for his 6th year or 7th year in college.
he is.
Ooh.
But, I mean, they have not been the same.
Yeah.
Well, see, but Nick Nash, I never know which quarterback's playing because I think Starkel's been hurt.
Yeah.
Or he's just benched because Nash has been playing. Nash has played the last 5 games.
Okay, so yeah, then I'll go Wolfpack that one in that case.
But it's crazy because Nick Starkel is still the leading passer on the season.
Which is just wild.
Like I said, their offense has been terrible. Nick Nash at quarterback. And it's crazy, too, because they're the defending conference champions.
Yeah.
Over under 55. And I'm going to go over.
Yep.
I agree. Like I said, man, Carson Strong. 404 touchdowns here. 10 p.m. FS2. UTSA, Battle of Texas Branch Schools. UTSA at UTEP. Roadrunners and Miners. And we're all on the Birds.
Yep. I'm with you there. I like the blanking out his name, but I like it. The coach there at UTSA a lot. Like he's been bright light for them, and he was coach at Arkansas for a little bit. So I'm gonna stay with my Arkansas guy and go with UTSA.
Thing I love about UTSA, which we've been saying this since last year, even. I absolutely love Sincere McCormick at running back. He is the man. And I also really like Frank Harris, the quarterback there for the Roadrunners as well. Over-under is 53. And I don't have enough confidence in the UTEP offense to hit the over.
No.
10:15 on ESPN2. A little national recognition here. Number 24, San Diego State at Hawaii. And yes, I don't know who you're picking, but I know I'm lone wolf in the Rainbow Warriors right now.
Am I seeing that right? You're taking Hawaii over SDSU?
A 4-5 Hawaii, yes.
All right. Well, you're going to be lone wolf in that one too.
Good.
More power to you.
Reasoning. Because, one, they're at home. San Diego State's got to go across the water. 2, San Diego State, I talked about this last week when I picked Chris Lone Wolf San Diego State against Fresno State. And I was like, dude, the quarterback situation for San Diego State is terrible right now. And so that's the reason. I am rolling with the established quarterback, Chevin Cordero, for Hawaii over the mess that is San Diego State's quarterback situation. Now, they can run the ball. This is true. But I think they're going to have to throw the ball eventually. And ESPN FPI is giving my Hawaii team a 30.5% chance to win. I like it.
There you go. There's a chance.
1/3, almost a third of a chance. Over under pretty small, 46. Both teams, San Diego State's putting up about 30. Hawaii's putting about 29. I mean, I guess Hawaii's defense is terrible, giving up 34 points per game. San Diego State's only giving up 17.5, but that's fine. We'll win low. Under 46. Maybe if it gets above 21 points, I don't know if Hawaii wins. But or I guess 28, whatever. 11 p.m. on FS1. All right, that's the FBS games. We have two FCS games this week.
Who we now?
The only reasoning, I know I forgot to put them on the script, but we usually only have one FCS game of the week, but there were just two that I could not say no to putting both on the today. So 2 top 10 matchups in the FCS this weekend. Pat Dahl's number 2 North Dakota State Bison heading to number 9 South Dakota State. And I love South Dakota State, but I loved them when they had Mark Gronowski at quarterback last year, unfortunately injured for the year after being hurt in the playoffs in the spring. But I mean, NDSU is playing lights out with transfer quarterback Quincy Patterson from Virginia Tech. So you got to go with the Bison.
I'll take your word for it, NDSU.
Yeah, and it sucks because the FCS, I have no idea why they never put out lines until like the day of the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's annoying. But like, because on the recap show on Mondays, we have lines to tell everyone who covered and over under, but we can't on the previous show because they don't put them out early enough. All right, and then the other one is probably more significant because it's a top 5 matchup. Number 4 Montana State at number 5 Eastern Washington. And Mark actually didn't text me back because I didn't put these on the script, so he didn't pick them in his picks that he sent to me. So technically Mark didn't pick Montana State, but I just gave it to him because they were the higher ranked team.
I'll join you with Eastern Washington, honestly. I don't know much about him, but I talked to the Eastern Washington coach this year for my job, and nice guy, so I'll join him.
Yeah, I don't know too much about Montana State, but I do know Eastern Washington. When we had them in the spring, Eric Barrier is back at quarterback. Fantastic arm talent in that spread offense that they run. They inherited that spread from when Mike Leach was at Washington State. And Cooper Kupp's alma mater gets the win here. NFL pick standings. Not that great of a week. I won the week last week. It wasn't pretty at all. But I did gain a game on Chris, and I gained 2 on Mark. So I'm still 6th back. It's not been a great year for me, but hoping to get back on track again this week. Here, games that we differed on last week. Mark lone wolfed the Lions, who got destroyed by the Eagles. Chris lone wolfed the Falcons, who lost to the Panthers, and he got the Niners right when they beat the Bears. I lone wolfed the Steelers, who beat the Browns last week. So, all right, Patriots at the Panthers, and it's weird because Mark and I had been on the Panthers I think we were on the Panthers every week of the season so far, and finally deviated from the plan. We're on the Fighting Bill Belichick's here.
Yep. I like Patriots here. I like Mac Jones better than I like Sam Darnold.
I think
So
the only thing that would swing it would be if CMC is back.
yeah, if he for some reason comes back and he's activated for the game, then yes, Panthers definitely can have a better chance there. But as of now,
Plus,
I,
is at home.
I like Mac Jones.
I would like to see if they announce tomorrow that he was activated off IR, how big the line swings.
Yeah, be interesting to see how much it swings and just because of how much they plan just coming right off the IR.
Oh, they'll.
It's going to throw him in there for
If
another.
he's active, he's getting 80% of the.
He's getting 80% snaps, 45 carries, and
He'll throw the ball a couple times,
you've been out for a while. You got to get back in it. Yeah.
Over under is 41.
I don't like that.
Yeah, I think both defenses are pretty good. I mean, the Panthers defense has taken a little bit of a downturn, but a rookie quarterback, so
Yeah. So.
even though he has been the best rookie quarterback out of all of them so far.
That is true.
AFC North matchup here: Browns at the Bengals. Mark's going with the Browns. I don't know why, but no OBJ anymore. I don't know. They're in disarray. I feel like in Berea right now.
Yeah, they're dealing with that situation. Huge fan of Joe Burrow. Love Jamar Chase. Love Mixon's been doing good this year. So I think they have a little bounce back game after that little rather than embarrassing loss last week against the Jets and Mike White. But no, I'm going to be with you, Rusty. I'm going to take the Bengals here.
Yeah, that was my we'll see my best bets coming up, but Bengals minus 10.5 last week was a great time.
Yeah.
Over under is 47. It's decently high for two teams that technically like to run the ball, even though I think people would probably classify the Bengals as a passing team, but I don't know. I'm going to go under. I think both defenses are pretty decent.
Both teams are pretty stout, so I like the under on that one too.
And I mean, the Browns just played a 15-10 game.
Yeah. So.
All right, Broncos at the Cowboys. We got all stars up here. No Von Miller now for the Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be pretty in Dallas this week.
No, I was kind of waiting to see what Dak's situation was because obviously he was dealing with that injury last week, and I think today came out or yesterday, whatever it was, he was a full participant. So that kind of was like, all right, then. With Von Miller gone, Dak full participant. Let's take the Cowboys minus 10.
Yeah, he'll be good to go. And interested to have my first week of Zeke in our league. So over under 49. I was kind of surprised it was that high. I'm going under. I have no confidence in Broncos offense.
Yeah, that's a bit high for the Broncos there. So yeah, I'll take the under with you.
Texans at the Dolphins. Chris Lone Wolf and the Texans. Maybe because Tyrod Taylor is back. I have no idea. The Dolphins, I don't think they've been playing terrible. It's just they've had a tough schedule, and I don't know. I'm still decently high on Tua. I don't think he's been the issue.
No. I mean, this is like one of those games you're just going to forget that's happening. All of a sudden, you're like, oh, it's going to show it on Red Zone. Like, okay, that game's still going on. But, I mean, these are just two really bad teams. I think Dolphins have a little bit of the edge, but I'm not confident with the Dolphins pick. It could easily go to Texans' way, but I'm going to have to take the Dolphins here.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked when I saw that from Chris. I was like, are you serious? You really want to take the Texans?
Dolphins are bad, but the Texans are just a whole different level of bad.
Yeah, I have in my teaser the first couple of games there. I took Cowboys -3.5 and Browns +8.5 in the teaser, weekly teaser here. Already hit on Colts -4. So over under is back to 47, which I wouldn't be surprised if it goes over.
Yeah, it's got to see. I mean, depends on how much trust you put in these offenses here.
Yeah, I don't know where Will Fuller's recovery is at. Talking about Devontae Parker out for the Dolphins. So a lot of Jalen Waddle and Mike Gesicki in this game.
Mm-hmm.
And Matt Collins as well. All right, Falcons at the Saints. Yeah, dude, I'm lone wolf in Atlanta. They're going to ride the high that their fellow Atlanta sports Braves have, and they are going to ride that into New Orleans and beat the Saints in the Caesars Superdome.
Well, you won't be lone wolfing because I'm actually going to join you here with the Falcons. I think Trevor Siemian's starting now, and we have no idea what he's going to look like. I think, like, good point. Braves just won the World Series. They probably got a little extra juice in them. They're going to go into New Orleans and definitely cover, and there's a good chance we'll even win this game.
Yeah. Chris is a Jets fan by trade, but he also is a Saints fan. So kind of knew he was going to pick the Saints. And I think Mark rolled with Chris, luckily. Over-under is low. It's 42, the second lowest of the weekend because of Trevor Siemian.
So
I just like the more experienced quarterback. That's Matt Ryan knows how to beat the Saints too. Sometimes when someone other than Drew Brees is playing,
exactly.
Matt Ryan knows how to beat him. All right, Raiders at the Giants. We're all on Las Vegas. I almost said it. I almost was close. I almost said it. But I got the Vegas in there instead.
Yeah. I mean, Raiders here. Giants did not look good last week. Well, I mean, they looked all right, but I like Derek Carr here. I think he's been playing pretty well. A little bit interesting to see if this Henry Ruggs situation kind of affects him at all. But 3 points, that's enough for me to take the Raiders in.
Yeah, it's interesting. We got a couple games where teams have got to go across the country. Got this one, Chargers, Eagles, and we also have Titans, Rams. So I don't know what the stats are for that cross-country travel, but over-under is 47. And yeah, I don't think under.
Yeah.
The Bills at the Jags, highest spread of the weekend, 14.5 for Buffalo. And yeah, it's going to be a good time in Jacksonville for Josh Allen, the Buffalo Bills. They struggled in Miami last week. Or no, that was at home. No, it was in Miami. Yeah.
Yeah, it was in Miami. I feel like the line should be bigger just because Jacksonville is just god awful. But then again, the Bills struggled a little bit last week against Miami. So this is like a little bit of a rat line. You just don't know what to pick. But I'm gonna have to go with Bills here. I like Jacksonville's offense is pitiful. They have just Trevor Lawrence. Don't know if it's Urban Meyer's fault or if it's kind of his fault or just a mix of both. But I like Josh Allen a lot, and I think they'll be able to take care of the Jaguars pretty easily here.
Yeah, we learned our lesson from last week when we all picked the Jaguars to beat the Seahawks in Seattle. And you talked about the line. It's tricky, and that's why I teased it. -8.5 for the
Yeah,
teaser.
that's a lot better.
Over under 49. No chance. No chance the Jags can help with that much.
No.
Again,
under.
I hate myself whenever I say no chance because then it always happens.
Yeah.
All right, Vikings at the Ravens. This one was kind of close for in my mind. I don't think the Vikings are a 3-4 team, but they got to go to Baltimore.
Yep, they gotta go to Baltimore. But I like the Vikings here. I like Kirk Cousins to have a little bounce back game from last week. I think Justin Jefferson has a huge game. And Baltimore's defense has shown a little bit of struggle this year at some points, and I think Kirk Cousins is able to take care of that.
Yeah, we'll have to see if right tackle Patrick McCarry is back from his ankle injury after the bye week. That's another thing I like Baltimore. They're off the bye. I don't think the Vikings. No, they played last week. Yeah.
Yeah, they played the Cowboys last week.
So Ravens rested. That's why I like Baltimore as well. And this one I have in the teaser. It's Baltimore Pick'em. So. Chargers at the Eagles. This is another one. I was thinking about taking my boys for the second straight week. Took them against Detroit, but this isn't Detroit. And again, I think about that cross country thing. Chargers coming all the way from Los Angeles, into think for an afternoon game. But
yep, that's definitely contribute to it. But that being said, I mean it's the Chargers. I like the Chargers a lot. I like Justin Herbert. I like Austin Eckler, and so -1.5. I think that's a little bit of a gift. I think the Chargers are able to win this by at least a touchdown.
Yeah, I don't think the Eagles will be able to run the ball like they did against Detroit. And I hope they don't, because I have Jalen Hurts in fantasy and I need him to get as much garbage time points like he's been doing every week.
I picked up Boston Scott this week, so I sure hope they continue that running game and they have some success.
Boston Scott is not a long-term running option.
I had to.
He can throw it to him though. He can throw it to him. Yeah, he can give him 5 receptions.
I'll take a couple. I'll take some receptions and a couple yards for a couple TDs.
I'll give him 5 receptions for 49 yards.
And a tutty?
Maybe.
Oh, hey, we gotta get
over under is 50. I like the over actually.
I like the over.
Yeah, I think.
See, I think
the Chargers defense hasn't been playing like the Chargers defense we all thought they were going to be.
No.
The only question I have is, can Jordan Mailata block against Joey Bosa?
A menacing matchup.
All right, the Wisconsin matchup here. Packers at the Chiefs. Chris Lone Wolf and Jordan Love. I thought about it, but then I was like, no, Chiefs are at home. Mahomes is not going to let an Aaron Rodgers-less Packers team beat him at home.
Well, I'm taking the Packers. You're right. The Jordan Love is the starting QB, but you gotta love me some Love this week. But even without Rodgers, we got AJ Dillon, Aaron Jones in the backfield. Chiefs defense has been that great this year. Mahomes has been that great this year. I haven't seen enough from the Chiefs to where I'm like, okay, yeah, a 7.5 point spread. That feels comfortable for me. And
for sure, no.
yeah, it's even without Rodgers, it's going to be. I mean, I do think the Chiefs will win, unfortunately, but I think it's still going to be a pretty close game. And I'm just hoping we see some sort of bright light from taking Love in the first round. So I'm just hoping for a couple 100 yards from him, maybe a touchdown. So
yeah, I hated the 7.5 as well, but I did. It's in the teaser. KC -1.5. So just don't burn me with a 1-point win, Patrick.
we shall see.
Over under is 48. And I don't know how you could even play the over under with the uncertainty of how Love is going to play.
Right. Yes, we have no idea. So I like the under on that.
NFC West, Cardinals at the Niners for the second time this year. Cardinals beat them 17-10 in Arizona. First game a couple weeks ago. I was surprised no one took the Niners, but
Is Kyler Murray playing?
yeah, I haven't heard any injury stuff on
Okay.
Kyler this entire week.
Okay, good. So yeah, I don't get this spread. I think the Cardinals are still a good football team. They would have beat the Packers if it wasn't for that errant pass at the end. So I think the Cardinals will handle this one pretty easily.
I think that the Niners are favored, one, because of the Packers game and how poorly the Cardinals defense played in that game.
They did have a really bad run defense.
Without JJ Watt. And for two, AJ Green's on the COVID list. Not that I think that matters because Christian Kirk will just slide in there and take all his targets.
Yeah, but we've seen Elijah Moore.
Hopkins will take them all.
The Niners is pretty good. So who knows? My Niners might be able to carve up the defense a little bit on the ground, but I don't know, just don't have enough confidence in them.
I think the Cardinals will be able to run the ball at will with Chase Edmonds and James Conner.
Yeah.
I haven't been impressed at all by the Niners' run defense. That's why I picked the Bears last week, and I still think the Bears should have probably won that game, but
yeah.
Over under 45. I'm going under. Like I said, the first game finished 27 total.
Yeah, you gotta go the under. You gotta look at what it was the last time they met up, man. With JJ Watt out. I mean, it's gonna be a low scoring game.
All right, here we go. Sunday Night Football. Titans at the Rams. Yeah. All on LA. No Derrick Henry. It is that's going to hurt because the weakness of the Rams defense is the run defense. So,
yep. You mean I gotta go Rams here. Picking up Von Miller. Really be interesting to see how that works out for them. Maybe that'll help out the run defense a little bit. But yeah, without Derrick Henry, Ryan Tannehill's got to be forced to pass a lot more, and don't know how confident I am in Ryan Tannehill having to pass it the whole game instead of handing off to Tractorcito when he needs to. But the Rams.
Yeah, I'll take all the AJ Brown targets I can get. That's fine.
Yeah, you'll be getting some more of those, that's for sure.
Yeah, I have this one on here teased Rams -1.5. So I like that there. And the final pick of the teaser is Monday Night Football. Steelers pick 'em. We don't pick the Monday night game here because we pick that on the Monday show. So over under is 53. That's the biggest one of the week. I think this is the best game of the week.
I think so too.
Without Henry. But 53, it's quite a bit, even though the Titans defense is terrible.
Yeah.
So, all right. Best bets of the week. Last week went 2-1. I've been begging for a 3-0 week. I just can't get Titans +2.5 at the Colts. Like I said, Bengals minus 10.5 at the Jets, and then I hit on Cowboys plus 2.5 at the Vikings last week. So this week I had no idea what I was doing. I didn't like a lot of the lines as they were set. So I'm going with my dog or my one upset here, my lone wolf Falcons, or not lone wolf because you were with me on the Falcons.
Yep.
But the Falcons plus 6.5 at New Orleans, like the Cardinals plus 1.5 at the Niners, and the Rams minus 7 hosting the Titans without Derrick Henry. So, I don't know. 12-15 on the year so far. I've been hovering around 500.
Yeah.
All right, lock standings. So we all lost last week. We were on a roll, 7-1 until that, but came back down to earth with a loss. Chris, he had the Chargers, lost to the Patriots, and Mark and I, we were on the Bucks last week, losing to the Saints in New Orleans. So we'll try this week. We all got different ones. Chris is on the Ravens hosting the Vikings. I'm on the Raiders at the Giants, and the Mark is on his team, the Rams, hosting the Titans. So got to be like NFL game day morning, doom. Riley, do you have a lock?
You know what? I'll go with Chargers minus 1.5.
All right. And then dogs of the week. Yeah, I suck it. I'm terrible picking dogs this year. Chris has been on a run. It was crazy because Mark started off, I think it was 6-0, and now he's came back to earth. But yeah, Chris has been on, I believe, a 6-0 run as well. Get 1 point if you cover, 1 point if they win outright. Last week, Chris got the Titans plus 2.5 at the Colts, right? I was terrible. I was on the Jags plus 3.5 in Seattle. And then Mark hit plus 2.5 for the Cowboys at the Vikings. Let's see. This week, Chris he's sticking with his Texans pick. Plus 5.5 at Miami. I think they could cover, but I don't. Like I said, we have them winning. So we have the Dolphins winning. So
Yeah.
And Mark and I are on the Cardinals plus 1.5 at San Fran. I hate the 1.5, but I think they're gonna win outright, so it's fine.
Yeah. I'll take Falcons plus 6.
All right. And next Friday, we will be back on Football Friday for previewing week 10 of the NFL season. I forgot to put on here on the show the college football playoff top 6, what it would look like if the playoffs started today. It'd be number 1, Georgia against number 4, Oregon, number 2, Alabama against number 3, Michigan State, number 5, Ohio State, number 6, Cincinnati. Hopefully next Friday I'll get the visual up like we've had when we had it last year as well. But yeah, next week on Friday we'll be previewing all of the games, and also we'll be breaking down the Monday night game between the Bears and the Steelers. Thursday night game, Ravens at the Dolphins. And let's just check to see if we got any games during the week. Yes, we have more Maction. More Maction during the week next week. We got 6 games of Maction. On Tuesday, we have 2-7 Akron at 5-4 Western Michigan. That's at 7 o'clock CBS Sportsnet. 4-5 Buffalo at 4-5 Miami, Ohio. That's at 7 on ESPNU. And then 2-7 Ohio at 6-3 Eastern Michigan, 8 o'clock on ESPN2. And on Wednesday, 4-5 Toledo at 3-6 Bowling Green, 7 o'clock CBS Sportsnet. 5-4 Ball State at 6-3 Northern Illinois, 7 p.m. ESPN2. I think that's going to be a great game. And then another one that should be pretty good. 5-4 Kent State at 5-4 Central Michigan, 8:00 on ESPNU. There is a college game on Thursday. Should be high scoring. North Carolina at number 25 Pittsburgh, 7:30 on ESPN. Those are the college games. That is the show for today. Don't forget to follow us on all our social media at FAA Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. FAApodcast.com is our website, and you can check us out here on YouTube and on Facebook as well, and on Spotify too, if you'd like to listen. All right, man. Appreciate it, Riley. And hopefully we see you on a show again.